We have breaking news. Breaking news. Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Antonio Arnold from Petersburg, Virginia, reporting right here in the city, Blue City, Petersburg, Virginia, and Make America Great, right here in the city of Petersburg. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot has been going on since I received notice of this piece of information. I had to confirm it because one thing you want to do, you want to confirm, verify, and confirm. Verify and confirm. Well, is it a number of news broadcasts plus NBC and MSNBC? I was wondering when I was on Facebook, I saw something about Governor Ralph Northam was going to speak, and some strange reason, Facebook pulled it out. No matter where it popped up, it was gone. And now I understand why. I'm telling you, like the Bible says, what you do in the dark will come to light. Guys, this baby killer, I told you. I told you. I told you. I told you. The Democratic Party is not good for us. I told you. I told you so. I told you so. I told you this 10 years ago. I told you back in 06. I told you back in 01. But nobody listened to me. I was disputed as an outcast, and here it is. It comes to roost. Pieces of truth. And I'm going to tell you something else, ladies and gentlemen. More going to come out. More going to come out. Let me tell you, I want to share a few pieces of script. Let me, before I read the scripture, let me tell you about myself. My name is Reverend Dr. Antonio Arnold. I am an ordained minister. I am a disabled veteran. Been in ministry for 22 years. Preached in Virginia. Pastor of the online ministry, Church Without Walls. Been pastoring for over, like I said, in the professional ministry for a long time. I'm also a disabled veteran, 100%. I've been a vet, served in the Army and Air Force, Army Reserve, Air Force, Air National Guard. Been on active duty lots of times since 9/11. And been an officer, lieutenant, to first lieutenant, to NCO. I've been an NCO all the way up to E6. Been a cadet. And I'm an alumni of Virginia State University. I'm also an alumni of Liberty Baptist Theological Seminary and the Frederick L. Ray School of Biblical Theology, just to name a few. That's about it. But guys, look at this. Look at this. Do you see this right in front of you? Governor Ralph Northam speaks out in video out the racist photo surface. Okay, this is 1984. I'm going to read this piece of scripture for you real quick. Coming from Luke chapter 12, verse 2 to 3. And it says, "For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, all right? Neither hid that shall not be known." All right. Verse 3. "Therefore, whatever ye have spoken in darkness shall be heard in the light. And that which you have spoken in the ear or in the closet shall be proclaimed upon the housetop." So what you say is going to come out, guys. And now here's another one. Luke chapter 8. Let's go to that real quick. Luke chapter 8. See, the Bible knows. So, yeah, I mean, you could dispute the Bible. You could dispute Christianity. You can just Judaism, if you will. But I'm going to tell you, the truth is in the scriptures, whether it be the Torah or the Bible. Its truth is in the scripture. 8:17. I'm going to go there. "For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hide that shall not be known and come abroad." This is Jesus Christ, Yeshua, the Son of God, Son of Jehovah, speaking, Son of Elohim. Proverbs 26:26. Let's go to Proverbs 26. This is very important. This is breaking news, everybody. This is very, very important. Very, very important. I know some folks gonna be mad at me, but you've been hook, wing, and lied to, and I've been telling you that. Nobody believes me. 26 26, and it reads, whose hatred is covered by deceit, his wickedness shall be shewed before the whole congregation. You hear that? Whose hatred is covered by deceit. His wickedness shall be shewed, means showed, before the whole congregation, meaning the whole community, the whole church community, towards everybody. Guy, I'm reading the Authorized Translation, King James Version Bible translation. This is the truth. Guys, what you do in the dark will come to light. People are going to see it. It's going to be on your head. Whatever you do in secret, you lie, you deceive people on, you're going to come out. People are going to know about you. Ralph, step down. Guys, it is time to leave the Democratic Party. Period. Listen to this. Just listen.
Moments ago from the politician who's in it, and we should say this is not a photo from the pre-civil rights South, not from high school either. It's a medical school yearbook photo from 1984, and one of the men in it, either the Klansman or the guy in blackface, is right now the Democratic governor of Virginia, Ralph Northam. He admits he is one of the two. He oddly did not say which one he is, and the wave of condemnation has been building by the hour. A few minutes ago, Governor Northam posted this video on Twitter.
My fellow Virginians, earlier today I released a statement apologizing for behavior in my past that falls far short of the standard you set for me when you elected me to be your governor. I believe you deserve to hear directly from me. That photo and the racist and offensive attitudes it represents does not reflect that person I am today or the way that I have conducted myself as a soldier, a doctor, and a public servant. I am deeply sorry. I cannot change the decisions I made, nor can I undo the harm my behavior caused then and today. But I accept responsibility for my past actions, and I am ready to do the hard work of regaining your trust. I have spent the past year as your governor fighting for a Virginia that works better for all people. I am committed to continuing that fight through the remainder of my term and living up to the expectations you set for me when you elected me to serve. Thank you.
Charles, what do you think about
hold
this?
Hold up, Charles. Hold up, Charles. Hold up, Charles.
I to the people.
No, hold up, Charles. Let me pause there. Let me pause it. Let me pause it, guys. Hey, y'all remember, everybody wants to impeach Trump. Everybody want to get rid of the Republican Party. Everybody want to castrate the man out of the White House. Here's a man, and they're calling him racist, and calling pastors and black people who like Trump a bunch of Uncle Toms. So who's the Uncle Tom now, huh? Who's the Uncle Tom now, huh? Come on now. Let's shake this stuff off and get our priorities back in order, guys. Hold our leaders accountable. Do a thorough background check on them, of course. Look through their yearbook. Look through their Facebook page. Look through everything they ever done. That is so messed up. But I'm telling you, y'all gonna just let us forgive him and keep him in office. No, they're gonna take Trump and hang him on a tree. Y'all already made dummies out of him, beating him up in England and beating him up. No. Double standard. If you're going to try to get rid of Trump, you better get rid of this guy too. You better get rid of this guy right now. You better impeach him. You better get him out of here because he came under false pretense. He lied to you, Virginia. He lied to you, brothers and sisters. He lied to you, America. Man, this is so messed up. And I'm right here. I am so blown away that everybody want to give this guy another walking endorsement like they did Obama. They gave him a free ride. You better not give him a free ride because we're watching. The American people, all of us, black, white, yellow, green, brown, you name it, you got it. We're watching. We ain't falling for that daggone bony bone ride. Give us a bone and say we're doing something for you. Give me welfare. You're doing me a favor. I'll hold you a higher standard. You got to go. If they're going to fire me They're going to fire you. They can fire you. Get him out of here. Ask for his resignation. Ask for his resignation right now. I'm so hot. But he had the gall, the instigated gall, to talk about having an abortion. Where's that paperwork at? Where's that paperwork at? That HB 1231. Get him out of here because you won't have to sign into law. Y'all messed up, Jack. Let's see what Mr. Charles Blow, columnist of the New York Times, Communist Times, have to say. Please speak.
Whether or not he should resign. I will say this, though. Black people, proportionally, are the biggest supporters of the Democratic Party.
True.
What does that devotion buy you? If this is what that devotion buys you and you do not call it out, then you will live with that repercussion of that for a very long time. You cannot look at Republicans and say this kind of behavior is aberrant on this side and we will not stand for it and stand.
Y'all hear that? We will not stand for it. He's right. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to this man. You cannot hold a double standard and say, hey, we okay with you, cool, we still cool. No.
And for it on the other. You have to make a choice. Either it's wrong or it's wrong. I believe that it's wrong. There's a lot of different kinds of racism, right? There's kind of virulent, aggressive racism that impacts your life and your livelihood and whether or not you actually continue to live in cases of some shootings by police. There's another kind of racism that mocks your pain and your suffering.
You daggone right it does.
Thinks of it as a triviality and that does not take your history in this country serious. And that is what blackface always is. It plays on it and pretends that it is a joke rather than as an injury.
Get him out of here.
And I think just looking at that photo, I think you have to remember this. First of all, I was 14 years old at the time. You don't have an excuse for that.
I was 18.
He chose to take that picture either with whoever else is. I don't know who he is in the picture, but he chose to take it with the other person. Chose to submit it to the yearbook.
Virginia Military Institute.
This is not like, oh, we just found out. The people who went to school with him had access to that yearbook. If there were any, everybody should have been offended when they saw the photo. Imagine if you're a black person in that medical school and that is part of your yearbook that you keep with you for the rest of your life. I want to know, did the governor ever, prior to being caught now, try to make amends for what he had obviously done?
He said nothing about it.
In public.
No, he didn't.
Now you're just saying, I'm going to do the work. Well, what happened in the last 30 years when you should have been doing that work?
Hey!
It's in the yearbook. You put it in the yearbook.
Jen, do you see any reason why Democrats should urge Governor Northam to stay in office? I mean, both U.S. Senators from Virginia, Tim Kaine and Mark Warner, put out statements tonight, criticizing him, stopped short of calling for his resignation. And to Charles's point, look, if he was a Republican governor, it's pretty clear they would have made a statement saying this guy's got to resign immediately.
Yes, that's true. I agree with that. I also agree with the point he made about the fact that Democrats can't sit here and accuse Republicans, including President Trump and others, of being racist while allowing and standing by this kind of behavior. There's no scenario where wearing blackface or wearing a Klan uniform should be acceptable. And he was a 25-year-old adult at the time, so it's hard to digest. Now, on the pure politics of it, I think that if you are a candidate running for president, we've already seen a number of candidates come out and call for him to resign. You don't want to be standing next to him when you're campaigning in a competitive state. If you are a member of Congress, you don't want to be doing that either. And I think this is a scenario where Democrats really have have to decide who we are
they
as a party, but also as in terms of how we represent the country. And this is a state where he's already fatally, potentially, I think, wounded his ability to do his job, given just a year and a half ago, there were white supremacists marching through Charlottesville. So there's also unique history here. I can't see a scenario where Democrats should call for him to stay in office.
I also want to bring in former Trump White House lawyer Jim Schultz, who joins us now. Jim, Ken Cuccinelli was saying last hour that it's not an easy process to remove a governor from office in Virginia. Do you see it even getting to that point? Do you think the governor will heed the calls to resign?
Look, you're walking into a presidential year, and there's a ton of Democrats taking the stage here, and I think you hit it exactly right, that they're not going to want to stand with him. They're not going to be supporting him. They're going to continue to call for him to resign, and he's going to have to make a decision whether he resigns or not. If it's that difficult to remove him in Virginia, then it becomes his political jeopardy, and he has to make a decision for himself whether he can govern and lead that state with this in his past, with this issue in his past. And I think it becomes very, very difficult for him to get anything accomplished in Virginia in terms of his agenda and get any political support from anyone in his own party, let alone the other party. So, I think it's going to be very hard for him to sustain this, and he probably shouldn't.
Kirsten, last hour you took issue with any comparison being made to the Kavanaugh controversy about looking at Kavanaugh's yearbooks. Your point was, well, there was a different reason people were looking at the yearbooks. It was based on how Kavanaugh had portrayed himself at that time. Do you think, should yearbooks in general be fair game?
You daggone right.
Absolutely. I don't think the fact that this was in a yearbook makes it not relevant. I think that one of the things is, first of all, I just want to say I've been really happy to hear tonight on this air, and I've also noticed in other places a lot of conservatives really very upset about racism, and I'm very happy to see that. And I just want to encourage them to not just be upset about racism in a yearbook in 1984, but actually maybe look at the racism that's happening with the President of the United States that they're supporting, so they don't just get to come out and condemn this racism and ignore that racism. And I would say the same thing about hypocrisy. They're very concerned about hypocrisy tonight with Democrats, and so they might want to look at themselves and the hypocrisy.
Come home, my
maybe
people.
Have a
come
conversation
home.
With
The unionists want you to come home.
For starters,
come back to the Republican Party.
I think that
Let's
whatever
take over
Democrats do,
Let's
they
take
should
over the
do
Republican
based
Party.
on the facts in front of them. And I think that Charles laid it out quite perfectly. And my one question to Charles would be, is if let's say that he changed radically since this happened, since this happened a long time ago, and he had a, sort of a moment where he became enlightened about race, and he realized that he had done something terrible, and he had done things to show that he was different. Does that make a difference? Well, or is this just something that you just shouldn't be able to recover from? And to me, that's really a question that I have.
But here becomes the issue, right? I hate when people ask, particularly black people, for absolution without, expect absolution from black people without ever even asking for it, without ever repenting for the action itself. They say, because it has happened a long time ago, because I've lived my life in a different sort of way, you should just grant it, even though I have never fessed up to it before I got caught.
Well, so actually what I'm saying though is that let's say he did do that. Let's say he repented, he can point to repenting it, that he had actually changed. Does it matter, or is this just something that you just say, you know what, this is just, you can't recover from this?
No, but the change is not the only thing, is what I'm saying. The change is one piece of it. There is a thing that was done. Have you tried to correct that in 30 years?
Yes!
And if you have not made any effort to correct that, to deal with the other people who received that yearbook along with you, some of whom may have been black people, but it shouldn't even matter if you're black or not. Everybody should have been offended by that.
I am.
And if you have never in 30 years dealt with that and tried to say, I'm wrong, I'm sorry, and let me just air this out because I have changed. And let me show you, America, Virginia, my neighborhood, my neighbors, that this is what change looks like. I did a horrible thing, but these are all the things that I have done since then to deal with the horrible thing I did, and also to be a better person. That is what change looks like. I believe that there should be a path for redemption from racism. Otherwise, we're in a whole heck of a lot of trouble. But that path requires action on your part to affirmatively deal with what you have done. And if you have never done that, then don't ask me to grant you an absolution.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I feel, and I don't think that he's done that. I haven't seen it, or if he has, he certainly hasn't talked about it.
And even if there is a path to redemption, let's hope that's the case. I think it's the question as to whether he should be the governor of the state of Virginia.
No!
Yes, as a human being, we should welcome compassion. We should welcome his change in view. We should welcome if he is going to try to make amends and go on that journey. But the question remains, should he be the governor? And I think the answer is no.
hey, did you get that, America? Did you get that? Did you get that, America? Hey, hold up, man. I gotta take care of something real quick. Got another one for you. Hold on. You know, we talk about beating the heck out of Trump. You know?
Well, President Trump today hinted he'll declare.
Hold up, guys. Hold up. We're going to stay on this one. I ain't letting this one go. I am not going to let this one go.
We begin the hour with a yearbook photo, an offensive racist yearbook.
Now, you'll find this, of course, on YouTube. This is MSNBC. I'm going to go ahead and click that too, guys. And let's
following breaking news tonight out of Virginia. NBC News has obtained a disturbing photo from Democratic Governor Ralph Northam's 1984 medical school yearbook page. The image shows a man made up in blackface next to another person dressed in a Ku Klux Klan robe. The Virginia governor released a statement tonight confirming it's him in the photo. He apologized for what he acknowledges is clearly racist and offensive. Quote, "This behavior is not in keeping with who I am today and the values I have fought for throughout my career in the military, in medicine, and public service. But I want to be clear, I understand how this decision shakes Virginians' faith in that commitment." The latest blackface scandal comes a week after the Republican Secretary of State down in Florida, Michael Arnold, resigned after photos emerged of him posing as a Hurricane Katrina victim made up in blackface. Those photos were for a private Halloween party 14 years ago. 2 months after Hurricane Katrina devastated New Orleans, a city that is 60% African-American. I'm joined by Michael Eric Dyson, of course, author of What Truth Sounds Like, Robert F. Kennedy, James Baldwin, and our unfinished conversation about race in America. Also with us, Adrian Eldred, former senior advisor to Hillary Clinton. Professor, thank you so much, Professor Dyson. Yes, the history of blackface and its offensiveness, and here we go again. Your thoughts?
Absolutely. And it's bipartisan, obviously. This is something that, and the astonishing thing is, this is 1984, not 64, not even 74. This is 1984.
Class of 84.
It's a remarkable display of the fact that racial insensitivity is not the particular province of any particular party, though we know that disproportionately within conservative circles, this kind of thing passes muster. But the reality is that even among conservative Democrats or those blue dog Democrats or those in the South who think that this is a joke or ha-ha and play it for laughs, understand later that this is something destructive and provocative. And I'm glad he apologized. I'm glad he acknowledged that it's offensive. I'm glad he acknowledged that it has to go through a process where people can grieve and be astonished and say, no, God, not again. Megyn Kelly wonders why blackface is a problem. The gentleman last week you talked about who had to resign, and now the governor of Virginia. This is a consistency that has to be addressed, and it's so deeply rooted in our culture. I end by saying this. For those who say, hey, aren't we past this? Mostly racism is gone. The impediments and obstacles that prevent black people and others from flourishing are far since removed. You people keep harping on this. This is an index of the persistence of racism in our country.
You know, I think, everybody knows I'm a movie buff, and I was watching some old YouTube today of Al Jolson back. You know, he was the guy that first talking movie, the jazz singer, in blackface. Right. And I was thinking, watching on YouTube tonight, I was thinking, what did the African Americans who were in the crew, were they working there or watching in the theater or back in the theater in those days? What were they thinking as this guy playing a blackface character out of the minstrels in the 20s and 30s and 40s? And and then I watched an Alfred Hitchcock movie the other night. There are no black people in it except the Pullman car conductors. There's nobody in the street of New York when they have a picture of Fifth Avenue. No black people at all. No African Americans. And what was the reaction of people at that time? Project back. What were people thinking, African Americans?
Well, it was astonishing. I mean, black people had to pretend in public that they could be amenable to such displays of flagrant and offensive racism. But look, think about it. It's just like when Joe Louis was in the ring boxing and he was beating a white figure. You know, when they're in front of white people, oh my God, how sad. But inside they're cheering, and when they went home, they hurrayed. The reality is black people have always had to accommodate the vicious expression, the lethal intensity of racial passions that are against us, and then keep navigating our way through it. We had to to suck it up. We had to bite our tongues. Inside, we thought it was horrible. We fought against it. We talked about it within our circles, our sororities and fraternities and churches. We did that. But we stood up and we said to ourselves, this does not mark who we are. And yet at the same time, the dominant culture is obsessed with black skin, but not black skill, not black talent. Wants to be black in terms of look, but not black people in terms of reality. That's part of the trauma that we see in blackface. And that's why its persistence is especially hurtful to those of us who think, look, we're beyond this. We got to get past this. What is the obsession with white America about blackening their faces, but not blackening their circumstances or conditions?
Adrian, we had you on before we know what you're going to say today, and earlier this evening, actually this afternoon, you called for this governor, Northam, to quit, to resign over this.
I did, absolutely. I mean, first of all, even if he is acknowledging that what he did was wrong, and this happened in 1984, I mean, you cannot undo this. He's never going to be forgiven by the majority of his voters.
That's not a million years ago, by the way.
Correct. Exactly. That's the point, Chris. It's not a million years ago. You know, but secondly, here's what is a campaign operative. I don't understand how this information just now came out. Why didn't we see this during the primary? Why didn't we see this in the general election? Who was doing the opposition research for the opponents of
they weren't
Ralph
doing
Northam?
a good job.
They weren't doing a good job.
I don't want to make comic of this, but there is a political aspect of why doesn't this stuff get out? It's usually an opposition organization that gets it out, and probably was this time. But I'm going to ask you about Julian Castro, who was just on the show the other night. He's also called for him to leave.
Yeah, look, I think you're going to see more and more calls by prominent Democrats and you know, Democrats across the party calling on Mr. Northam to step down. I think it's going to be very hard for him to recover from this. And look, Justin Fairfax, Lieutenant Governor of Virginia, is a rising star in the Democratic Party. He himself is African American. You know, it's not like there's not a long lineage of talent to replace Governor Northam, too. So
are you speaking as, I'm going to ask you a question here, not just as a commentator. Are you speaking as a Democrat who thinks the Democrats have to keep their laundry clean, too? That they have.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The Democrats have to keep their laundry clean, too. But at the same time, if we're going to criticize Republicans for, you know, these insensitive racial gestures, then we need to also call out our own in our party. And I think that, again, Governor Northam is going to have a very difficult time recovering from this. And, you know, he's also a one-term governor. You can't forget. In Virginia, you don't run for re-election.
I want to switch to the positive now. You're a Democrat. I'll start with you and then get to the professor. We have two African-American candidates that are really going to be serious contenders. This isn't like an outside chance here. I mean, Kamala Harris says, even Donald Trump said, the best rollout he's ever seen, basically, this year. And you've got Cory Booker tonight, the senator from New Jersey, who's always looked like a winner politically. This is a real development. Just one presidency after Barack Obama broke the color bar, basically.
Exactly. And, you know, when Barack Obama was running in 2008, he obviously embraced being African-American, but there were some consultants who said you should sort of distance yourself from that. Now we've got two prominent African-Americans running in this primary, which is wonderful to see. But it's going to be interesting to see how the two of them adjust their message to compete with certain sectors within the African-American community.
Let me go to Michael now. Has there been a zeitgeist change on this question of a black president, to be blunt, to put it that way, since 08?
Well, there's no doubt that Barack Obama broke the barrier. He was Jackie Robinson. We just celebrated, what, the 100th anniversary birthday of Jackie yesterday. So Barack Obama is Jackie Robinson. He isn't the first black person who was capable of being president. He's the first black person who got a chance to prove that he could do it. Jackie Robinson wasn't the best black ball player and wasn't the only one who could have been the first ball player, but he had the right temperament. As the great philosopher Grace Jones said, I may not be perfect, but I'm perfect for you. He was perfect for the situation. Barack Obama was too. Now we see the rising competition of two extraordinary stars. These are intergalactic stars, politically speaking. Cory Booker with his storied history and Kamala Harris with her superstar status. Her rollout, 20,000 people in Oakland, and then doing a great job on a competing network, having a town hall, and then being able to withstand some of the critique around her record as prosecutor and the like. So Attorney General. So the reality is that both of these figures will show that you can have more than one black person. And that welcome to the world of black politics, like white politics. We have many white politicians, many black politicians. May the best man or woman win. May the best figure rise and take the challenge. And I think that Cory and Kamala, Senator Booker and Senator Harris will show that in our own time.
Well said. Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me. Or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.
pause this for a moment.
My team and I always had trouble managing our tasks.
Pause that. All right, here we go. All right, it's not interesting. Interesting conversation, guys. That was definitely an interesting conversation about the governor. I don't see anything else new. Nothing from CBS. If you guys see him, just put it out there, please. Nope, don't see anything on that one. So I'm going to close that out. All right. Hey, we family. We family. You know, at first I couldn't believe it. You know, I was denial. And then I saw credible news sources come out with it. And it's really embarrassing, you know. So, here's another one. Will Nancy Pelosi ask for the resignation of this from this Democratic governor? Yeah, I think you're gonna have to resign. Because if you're gonna have, we can't have double standards, guys. It's just not what's got. And like I said, Luke chapter 8:17, Luke chapter 12:2-3, Proverbs 26:26 made it clear. So here we go. And that's from Dream TV. Look at that. Will she do it? Will she do it?
There's more breaking news this hour. The Democratic governor of Virginia, Ralph Northam, is now apologizing for a photograph of two people, one in blackface and one in a KKK hood and robe that appears on his 1984 medical school yearbook page.
Never take the photo.
Neil, let me read his full statement that he just released moments ago. Earlier today, a website published a photograph of me from my 1984 medical school yearbook in a costume that is clearly racist and offensive. I am deeply sorry for the decision I made to appear as I did in this photo and for the hurt that decision caused then and now. This behavior is not in keeping with who I am today and the values I have fought for throughout my career in the military, in medicine, and in public service. But I want to be clear. I understand how this decision shakes Virginians' faith in that commitment. I recognize that it will take time and serious effort to heal the damage this conduct has caused. I am ready to do that important work. The first step is to offer my sincerest apology and to state my absolute commitment to living up to the expectations Virginians set for me when they elected me to be their governor. It's an awful, awful picture. He says he's in that picture. He doesn't say if he's the one with blackface or he's the one with the Ku Klux Klan.
Either way is wrong.
Hood.
Either way is darn wrong.
You know, I was talking to someone close to the situation. One of the things that's happening right now is black lawmakers are having an emergency meeting about this. They've been in this meeting for about an hour at this point. Apparently, Northam is telling people he doesn't quite remember the details of this photo. They don't quite know either which one he is in this photo. One of the things that this person said
Thank you, World on TV Demand. We really appreciate that.
Northam, he's a great guy. It goes to show the kind of relationships that I think he's built up among African Americans in Virginia. We, of course, know that the lieutenant governor himself is an African American, Justin Fairfax. He's been in meetings as well about this. They are torn about what to do next. They obviously know that this apology is out there, and it comes right as we have a Democratic Party that, on the one hand, has criticized the Republican Party, particularly Steve King, right, over some remarks that he made about white supremacy, criticizing the Republican Party, and also touting their own diversity, right? This divorce bill that they have for 2020. So they are in a position now where they've got to figure out, I think Democrats, not only in Virginia, but nationally, is do they call for the resignation of Northam, this Democratic governor, who in some ways ran as a centrist governor, someone who could go to a black church and fit in comfortably there. I think his pastor is African American. So they've got some decisions to make, and we'll see what comes out of these meetings with black lawmakers that are happening right now in Virginia.
Ron Braunstein, how do you see this playing out? Because you remember, he was elected governor, beat Republican Ed Gillespie in 2017, 54% to 45%.
Yeah, look, this was not a 15-year-old in 1964, right? This was a 25-year-old in 1984. And I think that reality is going to make this very difficult for Governor Northam in the long run.
Virginia Military
impossible to predict
Institute,
exactly how other politicians in the state respond.
Pediatrics.
But I do think that at a moment when the Democratic Party, as Nia said, is today, Cory Booker announced his presidential campaign. 2 serious African-American candidates in the presidential race for the first time. Hispanic candidate. The diversity of the party is, and the idea that it is standing for and defending an increasingly diverse America against the kind of arguments that President Trump has used, I think is becoming integral to its identity. And so while it's always possible that Northam could choose to try to tough this out, I think it is going to be hard for other Democrats to defend him. It's also worth noting Virginia is one of the last states where a governor can only serve 1 term. He's only been in office 1 year, but he is, you know, the most he could do forward is 3 years. And it would be, I don't know the answer if the lieutenant governor, a rising star, Justin Fairfax, replaces him. Could he run for re-election and then, in essence, be governor for 7 years? That would be something that might ease the pain of a lot of Democrats about moving down this road of moving him out.
Yeah, we'll check that.
Thank you, guys. Watching World TV Demand TV. All right, guys. And this is
you and your team
very
need to get
interesting.
things done. With Monday.com, it's easy,
And
fun, and simple. Just add the workflow that suits you. Whether you're a small team or a big organization.
Thank you. You know, these computers are so slow.
Everyone will know who's doing what.
And it's still
Click, drag,
doing
and
what I'm
drop
not
to create
asking
your
them to
board
do.
exactly the way you want it. Mention your...
All right. Wow. We don't want to see President Pelosi. That's going to go. Close that out. And there, what else we have here? This is from Charlotte Observer, Charlottesville, Virginia, of course. Virginia governor apologized for racist photos. You know, this is heartbreaking. And when are we going to have a march or a protest? Virginia Governor Northam apologized on Friday, which is today, February 1st, for a racist photo in which he appeared more than 30 years ago, but he said he did not intend to heed call to resign from both Republicans or prominent fellow Democrats, including several presidential hopefuls. It's going to make the Democratic Party, this is going to weaken the Democratic Party stance altogether, in my opinion. Okay, the yearbook, let me continue to read. The yearbook image was first published Friday by the conservative news outlet Big League Politics. Everybody got a yearbook. Virginia pilot later obtained a copy from the Eastern Virginia Medical School, which Northam attended. The photo shows 2 people looking at the camera, one in a blackface wearing a hat, the one bow tie and plaid pants, the other in a Ku Klux Klan robe. Which one is it? Which one could it be? Tick-tock, tick-tock. I say, let's be both of them. You know, it's just sad, man. It's just really sad. It's bothersome, you know. Those should report to your book. I mean, this thing been moving all over the place. But whatever you do in your past will come. A long-time African-American lawmakers conference call with black leaders around the state intense. Yep, it's really getting interesting. Here it is, guys. The actual yearbook. Take a look at that picture. I don't know why this thing right here, but I guess that's the you know, how to get paid. But isn't that interesting? It's sad. I told you guys. I told you. You know, get out of the Democratic Party. You didn't listen to me. Here you go. You got folks who are racist in all parties, and, you know, but you know, why be part of a party that's created this monster called the Ku Klux Klan? You know, the muscles. His 1984 Virginia Medical College yearbook. It says Military Institute on here. Page shows picture on the right, the person on the blackface, another one wearing Ku Klux Klan. You know, it's really disappointing. Associate Press. I mean, they got it. You know, hey, we asked for it. We got it. We got it. Here's another CNN article. I mean, it's on national news. I mean, it's all over the place, guys. Yeah, the president, everybody hate. You better start hating. Why not hate Northam? He's the one put the KKK stuff on. You know, here he is. Go ahead and apologize, brother. I ain't mad at you. You the one who got to live with this stuff. Let's turn it on. Anyway, I can expand this. It's computer.
I switched to Liberty Mutual because they let me customize my insurance. Yeah. And as a fitness junkie, I customize everything. Like my bike and my calves.
There you go.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Liberty, liberty, liberty. Here we go. Here we go, guys.
We begin the hour with a yearbook photo, an offensive racist yearbook photo, and new word just moments ago from the politician who's in it. And we should say this is not a photo from the pre-civil rights South, not from high school either. It's a medical school yearbook photo from 1984. And one of the men in it, either the Klansman or the guy in blackface, is right now the Democratic governor of Virginia, Ralph Northam. He admits he is one of the two. He oddly did not say which one he is, and the wave of condemnation has been building by the hour. A few minutes ago,
I thought that was something new. I'm sorry, America. But, yeah, that's from CNN. But it's credibility. I mean, you want credibility. So here's another one for credibility. And hope they don't go another. I'll get a feeling they will. But, you know, we're living in the last days, guys. Last evil society world. We got to get ourselves right with Jehovah, God, through His Son, Jesus Christ. And hopefully this commercial will pass. Okay. I can't do nothing with the commercial, guys. I'm sorry. Anytime now. Go ahead and drop your stuff. Nice car, though. And, nice.
Parking splat. And we covered it. Talked to farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum. Little history. CNN. Don't you trip.
The Democratic governor of Ralph Northam is now apologizing for a photograph of two people, one in blackface and one in a KKK hood and robe that appears on his 1984 medical school yearbook page. And Neil, let me read his full statement that he just released moments ago. Earlier today, a website published a photograph of me from my 1984 medical school yearbook in a costume that is clearly racist and offensive. I am deeply sorry for the decision I made to appear as I did in this photo and for the hurt that decision caused then and now. This behavior is not in keeping with who I am today and the values I have fought for throughout my career in the military, in medicine, and in public service. But I want to be clear. I understand how this decision shakes Virginians' faith in that commitment. I recognize that it will take time and serious effort to heal the damage this conduct has caused. I am ready to do that important work. The first step is to offer my sincerest apology and to state my absolute commitment to living up to the expectations Virginians set for me when they elected me to be their governor. It's an awful, awful picture. He says he's in that picture. He doesn't say if he's the one with blackface or he's the one with the Ku Klux Klan robe and hood. But what's your reaction to this?
You know, I was talking to someone close to the situation. One of the things that's happening right now is black lawmakers are having an emergency meeting about this.
Emergency meeting
for about an hour at this point. Apparently, Northam is telling people he doesn't quite remember the details of this photo. They don't quite know either which one he is in this photo. One of the things that this person said was sort of in defense of Northam. He's a great guy. It goes to show the kind of relationships that I think he's built up among African Americans in Virginia. We, of course, know that the lieutenant governor himself is an African American, Justin Fairfax. He's been in meetings as well about this. They are torn about what to do next. They obviously know that this apology is out there, and it comes,
let him go, you better let it Trump
You have a Democratic Party that, on the one hand, has criticized the Republican Party, particularly Steve King, right, over some remarks that he made about white supremacy, criticizing the Republican Party, and also touting their own diversity, right? This divorce bill that they have for 2020. So they are in a position now where they've got to figure out, I think Democrats, not only in Virginia, but nationally, is do they call for the resignation of Northam, this Democratic governor who in some ways ran as a centrist governor, someone who could go to a black church and fit in comfortably there. I think his pastor is African American. So they've got some decisions to make, and we'll see what comes out of these meetings with black lawmakers that are happening right now in Virginia.
Guys, you're going to have to make a decision. You got to make a decision. And this thing is so uncomfortable. I'm going to have to edit.
An exchange that President Trump says he had with the publisher of the New York Times, AG.
Yeah, but anyway. Meanwhile, in the White House, we ain't got time for that. Yep. And what else we got here? There we go. Charlotte Observer. What's this right here? I mean, guys, you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to like me. You don't have to believe me. Believe your media. CNN, MSNBC, Virginia Observer, I mean, they all made their point. I'm just going to close it up right here. But this guy advocating the murder of children, full term, would you want him to remain as your governor? Just ask your question. This guy dressed up, even back in '84, I would definitely be pissed off with this. I was just graduating from high school, back in '84. I mean, this guy's graduating from, attending medical school, and they just having a party, got some beer in their hand, Budweiser at that. He got to go. He got to go. Got to go. Let's put some red hat people in there. Let's put some people that can totally represent us. We ain't got no hidden stuff behind them. Again, guys, I'm going to pray for his wife and his kids, his children, his family. My prayers. I ain't got nothing against the guy personally. It just, he just cannot represent. It just say nothing personal. Just like in a job, when you interview me, it's nothing personal. We just don't need you anymore, lieutenant or captain, or nothing personal. We just don't need your services. Your governor, it's not personal. We just no longer need your services as governor. Luke chapter 8, verse 17 says it all. Luke chapter 12, verse 2 to 3, and Proverbs 26:26. I'm not condemning a man as a man, but what he did do, what you do in the dark, what you done in your past, will haunt you. That's just the bottom line. Anyway, thanks for America for watching. I appreciate it. Please send me some support. I appreciate your support. Hey, we need some good people to run for Virginia governor, and we need some good people we need some Republicans in Petersburg. But anyway, we need people to stand up for a change, to stop crying, hiding. Anyway, guys, God bless you. I thank you so much, and we look forward to talking to you on the next video.